Today, let me take you on a journey through the fascinating psychological comedy drama from 1998, The Truman Show. Heads up, spoilers are coming your way, so watch out if you haven't seen it yet. The film kicks off with an introduction by Christof, the mastermind behind The Truman Show. He explains to a documentary crew that although Truman's world is entirely fabricated, Truman's emotions are real. His life, he says, is genuine. Truman Burbank, an ordinary guy, or so he believes, is the unknowing star of a global phenomenon. His wife Meryl and best friend Marlon play along, supporting Christof's vision of authenticity. Yet, Truman has no idea he's one of the most watched personalities in the world. Hidden cameras track his every move, 24 hours a day, capturing each moment in real time. People across the globe tune in, connecting with a man who has no idea he's on screen. To the world, Truman is the cheerful insurance adjuster next door. He lives in Sea Haven, a seemingly idyllic town that's entirely constructed and controlled by Christof's production team. Unbeknownst to Truman, his home is actually a colossal TV set. Christof manipulates every detail, but things start to crack. One day, a spotlight falls from the sky, landing with a loud thud right in front of him. Truman, curious, examines it, but the production crew quickly spins the story. A simple aircraft malfunction, they say, over the radio. Yes, Christof even controls the news Truman listens to. Every detail of Truman's world is meticulously crafted to keep him unaware. On the surface, Sea Haven is a friendly, typical suburban neighborhood. The townspeople all have their roles and routines. Truman has no clue everyone he knows is simply acting. At work, he secretly tries to contact someone in Fiji, a woman named Sylvia Garland, his long-lost love. He can't reach her, so he resorts to tearing out magazine photos that look like her eyes, trying to piece together her face. Just then, his boss sends him on an assignment across town, but Truman hesitates, using a dentist appointment as an excuse. Insistent, his boss dismisses the excuse, pushing him to face his fear of water and head to the ferry terminal. Truman arrives, but seeing a boat triggers his water phobia, a fear carefully instilled by Christof. That evening, Truman confides in Marlon over drinks, expressing his desire to leave everything behind and move to Fiji. Marlon chuckles, dismissing the idea as silly, reminding Truman of Sea Haven's comforts. To keep him in place, Christof crafts traumatic scenarios like a staged boating accident that instilled Truman's water phobia. When Truman notices it's only raining on him, he laughs at the absurdity. The weather soon fixes itself. Later, he suggests to Meryl that they travel and explore the world together. Meryl tries to sway him, saying it's too expensive. Instead, she proposes having a baby, hoping this adventure will keep him grounded. The next day, Truman catches sight of a man who looks strikingly like his father, someone he believes is dead. Frustrated and confused, Truman runs to his mother, desperate for answers, but she brushes it off as mere imagination. Later, alone in his basement, he sifts through mementos, finding a sweater from Sylvia, his high school crush. In a flashback, we see how Truman instantly fell for Sylvia, but the show's producers pushed her out, directing him toward Meryl instead. At their prom, he glimpses Sylvia one last time. On a study night, they share a kiss, and she hints that his life isn't what it seems. Her father, an actor, tears them apart, calling her insane and planning to move her to Fiji. The next day, Truman overhears voices on his car radio describing his exact location. His suspicions grow. He begins to see the patterns around him, realizing that the world seems to revolve around him. Trying to escape, Truman ducks into an elevator, only to see producers behind a fake wall, confirming his suspicions. When he shares his fears with Marlon, his friend dismisses them as paranoia, insisting it's all in Truman's head. At home, Truman revisits a wedding photo of Meryl, noticing her fingers crossed during their kiss, symbolizing her insincerity. Desperate, he rushes to Meryl's workplace, only to watch her and the doctors pretend through an absurd surgery scene. Determined to leave, Truman books a bus, only to have it break down minutes into the ride. Growing more hostile, Truman's desire to escape becomes unstoppable. Dragging Meryl on a road trip, he points out every bizarre inconsistency, trying to make her see the cracks in their world. When they reach another roadblock, Truman's suspicions boil over. He accuses Meryl of being in on the scheme, pushing her to a breaking point. That night, Marlon, listening to Christof's instructions, tries to calm him, promising he'd never lie to Truman. In a tearful reunion, his father reappears, supposedly suffering amnesia as millions watch worldwide. In a gripping live interview, Christof explains how he built Truman's World, legally adopting him to create the ultimate reality show. Sylvia, his true love, interrupts, calling Christof out as a cruel manipulator, challenging his control over Truman's life. The layers of Truman's life unravel further, and his quest for truth accelerates.